Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Today we talk about people who've managed to do something against the odds.
People who've had difficulties but have still been successful.
People like this man, Mike Haynes, who works as an instructor in wheelchair sports.
What sort of people achieve things against the odds?
I think they're people who refuse to let their problems control their lives.
That's right. They decide to face their difficulties or disabilities. Their disabilities don't prevent them from doing what they want to do.
To me, they're people who try to do something they can be proud of, and they keep trying to do it in spite of their problems. They try to do something they can be proud of. They try to do something. And they keep trying to do it in spite of their problems. They keep trying to do it.
Is there something that you've done that you're very proud of?
Actually, two things. One is completing college. The second would be becoming a certified interpreter for the deaf, because I taught myself sign language.
I've raised 3 wonderful children.
I'm very proud of still being in football after 15 years.
I was in the school play last year, and I'm proud of that.
I've written a book with a colleague, and I'm quite proud of it. It's quite nice to see it in people's houses. You say, gosh, I wrote that.
The St. David's Rehabilitation Center in Austin, Texas, provides help for people who are confined to wheelchairs. Mike Haynes teaches fitness at the Rehabilitation Center. What does his work and the work of the center involve?
Well, St. David's is a rehabilitation center for people who have had injuries and who are getting rehabilitated to get back into everyday life and back to the community. Wheelchair sports is based under therapeutic recreation. It's getting people back to what they did before in life. I run a fitness center for people with disabilities. It's specifically designed for people with disabilities. It's one of 3 in the country. I set people up with individualized weight training programs to increase their strength more functionally, to get them more independent in life. The key to independence once you're disabled is strength.
Ready, let's go.
That was a half? What? That was a hair and a half, huh? I thoroughly enjoy my work. It's not even work to me. It's a lot of fun.
Mike clearly enjoys doing his job, and it's a job that involves many things.
It involves helping people, people with disabilities. It involves training people so they can do things for themselves. It involves a lot of encouragement, and that's perhaps the most important of all.
This was how Mike expressed his feelings about his job.
I thoroughly enjoy my work. It's a lot of fun.
We've heard Mike talking about his work in the Rehabilitation Centre, and we've seen him working with disabled people. Now we're going to see him taking part in sporting activities in his free time. Let's find out what sports he plays.
I play wheelchair tennis. I'm a nationally ranked wheelchair tennis player. I travel all around the nation playing wheelchair tennis.
There you go. Shot. I got it.
I play wheelchair basketball. We travel around the nation playing wheelchair basketball. Wheelchair basketball is just like college basketball. We use the same rules that they use. We use a standard basketball court. Wheelchair sports is designed to keep the essence of the sport so that you're playing the same sport that you were before. I'm a scuba diver. I take a yearly trip to Bonaire in the Netherlands Antilles to scuba dive. A lot of quadriplegics go scuba diving. They may not even be able to brush their teeth in the morning, but they can scuba dive. It takes you out of your wheelchair and it frees you from gravity and allows you to roam as an able-bodied person. When you're looking at the coral, you're sitting there and looking at the micro view of things. You can sit there and look at one patch of coral and you may be looking at something and not even see it. If you take an experienced diver down with you, he can go in and pull things out and show you little nudibranchs and little Christmas tree worms and all sorts of neat things that you don't even see. It was one of the things that I've done since my injury that I did not do before. It was like a great accomplishment. I was really scared.
Mike enjoys teaching. He enjoys playing basketball and tennis.
And he enjoys scuba diving in the Caribbean. This is how he described the experience of swimming near coral reefs.
It takes you out of your wheelchair. It frees you from gravity. You may be looking at something and not even see it. Looking at, but not seeing. Mike says that you need an expert to help you see the marine life moving around near the coral reefs.
Mike Haynes is an extraordinary man, especially when you consider what happened to him. One night, Mike was driving home with some friends and got into an argument with another driver at some traffic lights. Mike drove off, but the man followed him. Eventually, Mike got out of his car to see what the man wanted. This is what happened next.
I walked towards him, held up my hands and said, hey, what's the matter? And he pulled out a .357 and as I turned to run, thinking the whole time that he was not going to shoot me, he did shoot me. While I was on the ground, he shot at me again. I lifted up. I was instantly paralyzed. I lifted up, and the next bullet went underneath me. I dragged myself behind a car, and then he laughed and drove off. He's serving 20 years for attempted murder in Huntsville, which is a penitentiary here in Texas. The next year I spent 11 months and 2 weeks in the hospital. I went through numerous operations, 14 in all. And then about a year and a half later, I went through a deep depression where I thought of myself as half a man, half a freak. I didn't think I was a human being. You lose a part of yourself and you remember how you were before, and you just don't feel the same. There's a lot of things that you miss, but then I didn't know all the opportunities that were open to me at the time. And I basically had to reinvent the wheel. There were other people doing the same thing I was doing out there, but they were in different parts of the country. I had to learn everything by myself. I had to learn how to drive. All the resources and things that were available, there was nothing standard. There was no information available. So I had to go out there and find all this information. And so now I want to be there for somebody. I want to be a resource for these people. So once they get hurt, they don't have to go through what I did. They don't have to go through 6 or 7 years of not knowing all this different information. I want to catch them right when they get here to the rehabilitation center and tell them to show them films of people doing great things, achieving things, so that they can set their sights early in life once they're hurt, and not have to go through that deep depression that I went through. I mean, I'm sure they're still going to go through depression, but I don't want it to be as bad as mine was.
It goes without saying that life was very difficult for Mike after the terrible things that happened to him.
He had to learn how to deal with everything in his daily life in a different way. Or, as he said,
I had to reinvent the wheel, start again from the beginning.
In spite of his terrible ordeal, Mike has a very positive attitude to his life and to his work.
he wants to help people with similar problems to participate in the activities that he has learnt.
I want to be a resource for people who arrive at the rehabilitation center.
We send our best wishes to Mike and everyone at the rehabilitation centre.
And we wish them every success with the work that they're doing.
That's all for now. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.